Hi, I'm Elizabeth Spring, and today we're going to be talking about Aquarius.
And I'm Claudia Trivelas. And Aquarius encompasses the time period from January 21st through February 18th. And Aquarius is a fixed air sign.
Yeah, and some of what I call the archetypes or symbols for Aquarius are the genius, the revolutionary, the truthsayer, and the exile or the outsider.
And the humanitarian.
And the humanitarian. Don't want to forget that one.
No. Aquarians are very into humanitarian groups,
Yes.
pursuits. Brotherhood is important to them.
Right.
Friendship's important to them. Aquarians make great friends.
They do.
Because they value friendship. In fact, in a partnership, it's more important to them at times that their mate is a good friend.
Yeah. They see things differently.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They can be misunderstood because of that, don't you think?
They can, and they have to be free. They're called to be original and independent and true to themselves, with a very strong need not to conform.
Well, they value individuality. So they value their own individuality, which means they have absolutely no desire to be the same as everybody else.
That's true.
And they can respect other people for being different too, which is great.
Yes. And a couple more words I associate with Aquarius is authenticity. Extremely important. That they are true to themselves and not to what is expected. Take them as they are.
This is who I am. This is who I am.
Right, and they almost have to go against the grain to a certain extent if they are going to be true to themselves.
Well, to be an individual,
yes,
they have to stand for who they are and their own free thinking values.
Yeah. So authenticity and individuation. Individuation is kind of a big word for, again, just that individual, true response to your own promptings, following your own inner drummer path. Right. Yes, right.
So Aquarians also can, well, first of all, they stand for I know. So Aquarius is an air sign. It's a fixed air sign.
Right.
So sometimes Aquarians think they know. Sometimes they think they know it all. Many times they do.
They do sometimes.
Because they can think outside the box.
Right. Yeah. They've got a quirky stubbornness about them. I think that's part of their shadow. They have to be a little bit careful because they can let that be too much of who they are, and they think that they're being them a real individual because they wear certain kinds of clothes or certain kind of haircut.
They can be eccentric.
Eccentric, yeah.
Very eccentric.
But it can be a superficial eccentricity instead of a true eccentricity, which is the individuation, which is the authentic being true to their own selves.
Well, also that because they think outside the box, and that is they are eccentric.
Yeah, and that's where the genius comes in, right? I mean, they see not just A and B; they see A minus and B plus, and they can see the alternatives as well as the big picture.
But again, they're an air sign.
Objective.
So they can be objective. They can appear detached. They can be detached. They stand back often and evaluate a situation. They're not known to be emotional, although they can be sensitive. But their response is not emotional generally, because they have a more detached. They want to look at it from the big picture. They want to step back and look at it before they respond to a situation.
Right.
Often.
But we don't want to make it sound like they're cold-hearted or something like that, because they've got a real strong romantic streak in them. They always remember their first loves, their major loves, and so they are romantic, but they're not ruled by their emotions.
Again, they're the opposite of Leo.
or Cancer.
So they don't have that
yes.
kind of Leo dramatic
Yeah.
flair.
Right.
They have a more aloof side.
Yes, yes, that can be part of their shadow too. Is a certain aloofness. That's a defense mechanism of the Aquarius. Is that aloof, detached
Right,
quality.
it can be. It's good in an emergency.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
So it's useful at times.
Yeah, and that they
not so useful at other times.
Right, they can be very
response.
That their response can be very blunt. You know, as the truth sayer, they're the one that tells the emperor that he has no clothes on, and sometimes they'll do it without tact and in no uncertain terms.
And they respect the truth. If you don't tell the truth to an Aquarian, you will lose them as a friend. The truth is what they value most. Also, Uranus, which is a ruler of Aquarius, is a disruptor. So oftentimes, if you tell a secret to an Aquarian, oftentimes, inadvertently, they'll say it. They're not doing it not to be a good friend, but they, because they're into the truth.
Yeah.
Have you noticed
Uranus,
that?
Yeah, and being ruled by Uranus opens up more things to talk about. I think on all of these signs, it's good to look at, well, what planet rules, and in this case Uranus. So we can say, all right, well, the nervous system is affected.
Yes, Aquarians have very delicate nervous systems, and also they will hear sometimes sounds that other people don't hear, like they sense all their senses. I think are heightened. Yes. Or at least they'll have one sense that's that way. Usually hearing the sense.
Yeah, that's right. They're the maverick of the zodiac, and they do, as I say, sometimes unexpected things. Everybody has agreed to do something, and they're the one that is lagging behind or going straight ahead. They're just not predictable, like the planet Uranus. Unpredictable.
Totally. And of course, now we're in a phase where Uranus just changed signs for the next 7 years. So.
That's right, Uranus and Taurus.
That's right.
We'll have yet to see what disruptions and miracles Uranus will have in store for us.
So also, Aquarians can be high-strung because Uranus rules their nervous system.
Right.
Which can make them a bit impatient at times.
But delightful friends, they think of the good of the whole, of everyone, and come up with fascinating ideas. They will see things and tell you things that you just never thought of.
And they can have good leadership ability simply because they're not so attached. They see what has to be done.
Right.
Their alternate ruler is Saturn, so they have a little bit of the same characteristics as Capricorn in that sense.
That's right. Yeah, they that's the old ruler is Saturn. So some Aquarian people tend to be a little bit more Saturnian, and some are a little bit more Uranian. Most of us think in terms of the Uranus with them now, but they're both. All right, do you think we did it?
I think we did. Well, don't forget, we're in the age of Aquarius.
Ah, that's right. Okay, well, I'm Elizabeth Spring. If you want to get in touch with either one of us for a reading, you can get in touch with me at elizabethspring.com, and we will do a lot more than just the sun signs.
And I'm Claudia Trivelas, and you can reach me at discoveryourimprint.com. And again, you can call me for a reading and learn all about your chart.
Bye-bye for now.